Hello everyone, I'm PallavBanka and I'm contesting for the post of General Secretary Sports Affairs. Sport has been an integral part of my life and has taught me the meaning of discipline and dedication over the years. Starting from the NSO lawn tennis in my first year to being a part of inter-IT camp for subsequent years. During my stay, I've had an opportunity to interact with numerous sports enthusiasts in the institute and have seen them take the same learnings away as I did to increase the opportunities for others to experience the same thing. My vision is to enlarge the sports community as much as possible while simultaneously expanding the horizon of sports across different pillars, right from fitness to administrative aspects. On the line of my vision, my manifesto focuses on fitness, both the nutrition as well as workout, and on making the council more responsive towards the community need, on increasing the exposure of ID Bombay sports. With these changes, I hope to make the community more inclusive than ever before and increase the presence of IT Bombay sports to new and uncharted areas. As you know, कि diet and nutrition बहुत important part of fitness का. And I got to know that people actually need जो regularly food intake करते हैं उससे related कोई उनको aspect मिले, उसके ऊपर उनको guidance मिले. So the initial part would be कि mess menu जो अपना इंस्टी ऐप में अपन काम में लेते हैं उसको मैं स्पोर्ट्स ऐप में इंटीग्रेट करना चाहता हूँ और एक पूरा मतलब if you go online you can find actually how many calories do you intake while eating a particular serving of food. तो उसको मैं वहाँ पे लाना चाहता हूँ स्पोर्ट्स ऐप पे. Then people can actually see that how many calories they are consuming. And at the same time my vision is कि जो अपने infographics लगाऊं जो अपने sport venues हैं क्योंकि each sport when you work out for a certain period of time you burn certain amount of calories. So उसके थ्रू मैं लोगों को ये बताना चाह रहा हूँ कि if you join sport and go towards sport you will actually burn the calories and be fit. एंड फर्दर इसका प्लान यही कि आगे जाके ये कैलोरीज से आगे बढ़ के न्यूट्रिशन प्रोटीन इन सब पे जाएगा सो दैट दे पीपल कैन मेक इन्फॉर्म्ड चॉइस कि व्हाट शुड आई ईट इन द मेस एंड व्हाट शुड आई अवॉइड ईटिंग इन द मेस एंड हाउ मच इन व्हाट क्वांटिटी शुड आई फोकस ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर फूड. तो उस डायरेक्शन में मेरा जाने का मन है. इसमें फॉर दैट लाइक टेबल स्पून एंड सच वी हैव पर्टिकुलर क्वांटिटी एज वेल. ऐसा नहीं होता कि सिर्फ ग्राम से उसके थ्रू डेफिनेटली ग्राम्स और उन पे भी होता है बट अ टेबल स्पून हैज अ पर्टिकुलर वॉल्यूम and in serving you can actually judge. ये starting में थोड़ा tough होगा definitely but eventually when you start consuming and start thinking about it तो ये measurable होता है. एक standard bowl size हो गया या we will actually put वहाँ पे कि कितनी टेबल स्पून सर्विंग तुमने ली है या कितनी अब वो उसमें ये भी कि मेस मेन्यू और मेस में जाके वो एक्चुअली ग्राउंड पे जाके और ज्यादा रियलाइज कर सकते हैं अपन. एंड ऐसे नहीं सिर्फ ग्राम्स में होता है वॉल्यूम सर्विंग्स में भी चीजें हो सकती है. लाइक इफ यू टेक फॉर एग्जांपल द लिक्विड्स तो वो एक पर्टिकुलर मेजर होगा उसका. और बाकी वेजिटेबल्स वगैरह में भी वी कैन एक्चुअली मेजर वो अवेयरनेस फैलाने से हो जाएगा. एंड आई हैव सीन दैट हैपन बिकॉज आई हैड वर्कड इन अ स्टार्टअप where I'd seen this thing happening and we were actually helping out people. So yeah, that's possible according to me. बिकॉज गूगल मतलब उसमें आई एम गिविंग द लिबर्टी कि तुम मेस मेन्यू को अकॉर्डिंगली तुम बेस्ट मेन्यू अपना वहाँ पे इन्वॉल्व होगा. लाइक इट वुड बी कि तुम स्वाइप डाउन करो यू विल सेलेक्ट द हॉस्टल नंबर एंड द मेस मेन्यू विल अपीयर ओवर देयर ऑन इट्स ओन. So that I've seen happening in the Insta app and I talk to the people and it can be integrated in the sports app as well. So, and there you can directly select the number of the servings or the quantity you are consuming and वो calculate कर सकते हो. गूगल फिट या जो भी एप्स बाकी हैं उनमें तुम्हें वो लिबर्टी नहीं मिलेगी तुम मेस मेन्यू को अपने आप इंटीग्रेट कर सको अकॉर्डिंग टू हॉस्टल यूर ईटिंग इन. So this is one of the unexplored area actually international students अपने यहाँ पे आते हैं, and they are coming from a very rich sports background, very different sports background. So my purpose over here is to include them and get them interactive with the teams and other student community, which are sports oriented communities. And we can actually have a great opportunity of exchanging the sports culture they have there and learning from them, as well as at the same time making them understand what our sports culture is, how rich our sports culture is. In this basically अभी if you see 30 students आते हैं, उनमें से काफी sports के लिए enthusiastic भी होते हैं, as I got to know. So yeah, definitely वो होगा. And इसके अलावा भी I'm planning to conduct some programs. I have been in talks with IR office, and they are very positive about it, to invite students particularly for a particular event as well. Okay, so what I've learned is there's many communication gap. They definitely come to a venue, but they're not that much comfortable in getting to know each other or the interacting with our students. So by helping them, by creating such events, we are actually helping them out, and at the same time helping our students as well. So I'm trying to remove that communication gap and make this thing into a bigger thing where basically I'm removing the gaps we have over here. Okay, for the sports podcast, my vision is of basically of including different communities. Like if you see, एक तो क्या इंस्टीट्यूट वाले इवेंट्स, तो उनके ऊपर जो किसी ने खेला हो तो उनका एक्सपीरियंस, या किसी ने देखा हो ऑडियंस से उनका एक्सपीरियंस, विल कैप्चर इट ऑन पॉडकास्ट. एंड अदर देन दैट बहुत सारे प्लेयर्स होते हैं जिनका बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट ऐसी कम्युनिटी भी है जो स्पोर्ट्स खेलती नहीं हो बट उसको ऑब्जर्व करने में बहुत इंटरेस्टेड रहती है, जो कि बहुत लेफ्ट आउट फील करती होगी मेरे हिसाब से. तो उनको केटर करने के लिए द बेसिक पर्पस बिहाइंड स्पोर्ट्स पॉडकास्ट इज कि जैसे कोई मैच हो उसके एनालिसिस करने का. तो कई जनों को होता है, लाइक इफ आई हैव सीन मेनी स्टूडेंट्स पोस्टिंग द स्टोरीज ऑफ करंट बार्सिलोना 3-0 विन. सो दैट वाज अ ग्रेट कमबैक. सो इन अ सिमिलर वे बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ऐसे हैं जो हिस्ट्री ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स या लेगेसी ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स, इंटर आईटी लेगेसी को भी फॉलो कर सकते हैं. तो उन सारे एस्पेक्ट्स को जो अनटच्ड है उनके थ्रू मैं स्पोर्ट्स पॉडकास्ट के थ्रू जाना चाहता हूँ. And it has been a very successful thing in the current scenario of pandemic. So this can actually be taken to great heights according to me. Okay, so for the indoor gyms, the thing is we actually have many sports over there, like 4 sports: basketball, volleyball, kho and indoor cricket are used over the year, and other sports too are included during the monsoon, like football and hockey. So the purpose behind indoor gym is firstly to cater to such a large community, and at the same time so that the team can practice unhindered. Now coming to the space constraint, so the basic plan is not to create an extravagant gym like the Newsack gym. The plan is to just cater to the minimum requirements that each sport has, and keeping the basic facilities. And for that we definitely have enough space, because one is showroom, and towards the Kho what do you call it, Kho court, we have a big enough room to accommodate such machineries, which will cater to the basic needs of the fitness of these sports community. Okay, the concept behind zero hour, so it's a very it has been tried to implement over the years. So zero hour basic concept is to give the community which are not an NSO or the team. So the basic problem, they can't reach out to the coach or learn from them. That has been an issue. So zero hour was basically that coach would be available for an hour in the week for on a day for to cater to the needs of the other students. Whoever wants to start, beginner or intermediate, who wants to learn or wants knowledge or interaction with the coach. So basically making the coach much more available for other part of the communities except NS1 inter-IT team. And from Praram is basically beginners camp. So it's a dedicated camp where you get the registrations and everything done. While Zero Hour would be much more open thing where anyone and everyone can approach the coach. So contingent excursion basic issue was basically we started late with the contingent leader app. Basically we started late with making the contingent leader, and that led to the contingent not coming together because contingent leader was one thing that bonded the contingent, and at the same time the academic load and everything were too much for the students. At the same time practice and everything was going. So if the plan is to actually use the weekends, and it's not just that we'll take the complete contingent because that has been an invisibility that hasn't been answered yet. So my aim is to pick a few sports together on different weekends, so that we it's possible to actually cater to the contingent in that way. Okay. So the basic purpose behind giving girls the slot or reservation on different across different sports is to make them realize that the sports council or the community are ready to give them the space and everything if they're willing to come and invest their time and energy in the sport. Uh, and over the year, how I plan to implement is basically it would be available for like we'll start with weekly 1 hour, and then if the girls are not coming, then we can definitely open it for the but if the girls come, then they can use that place. And secondly, so 1 hour a week is a initial part. Once they get comfortable and if they start coming, and if this idea is a success, then we can start increasing it and try not to hinder it with other people. So yeah, that's the plan. Okay. So for PG specifically, why? So the answer is over the years, I'm planning beginner camps for PGs because of the time constraint they have in the academic load. While in the summers, they're comparatively relieved of the load. So at that time, we can actually exploit the talent that the PGs have and the experience they have had from the BTech years. Now coming to why, especially for PGs, because we also have advanced camp for everyone, in which mostly the UGs are a part of, because for the year long they have been available for practice and everything. So this specifically to the PG would also help in. Basically, in the morning it would be for the PGs, and in the evening we can go forward with the advanced camp for the UGs and everyone. So that's why PGs to actually get them out, and because that's one time of the year when they are comparatively free, and we can actually exploit the talent out of them or bring the talent out of them. The basic purpose behind it, because we have limited seats, we can't just increase the speed because seats, because the coach facility, actually we have restriction on the facilities. Like if you ask me for the courts or squash courts, tennis courts, or TT table or badminton court, uh, on each court they can be at max 4 players, right? So we can't include everyone. Now the UGs get many opportunities during the semester. According to me, they are comparatively less occupied with academics, so they get to take parts in many more events. They have workshops, praram, and everything. So that's the purpose that I'm focusing on the PGs, so that the seats, limited number of seats, can be occupied by the PG. And anyway, in the evening slot with the advanced camp, most of the participants over there are UGs. And as far as the team bonding is concerned, so that's the purpose. If the intermediate camp is a success and the PGs are able to generate the talent that is required for the entire team, they will eventually be included, and they will also get to like advance in the sports, and they'll be able to give much more time to the sports when they see the benefits of sport and what they can achieve using inter IT. The closing statement is with the pandemic, we need to take a step back and reflect on what needs to be done. We may have great facilities, but to match its greatness, we need a revival of the glorious culture we have had over the years. To make this happen, every student should be brought in the exciting world of the sports, according to me. Regardless of the semester being offline or online, we'll move into new areas of development and make sports much more inclusive of everyone while keeping the new normal in mind. Thank you.